What is up, y'all? I'm sleepy, but I said I was gonna make this response to the video made by the brother 7 grams, and in the title it spoke about relationship and mental illness. In the video they tapped on relationship behavior during COVID. There was a sister in the video that was actually like annoyed, more than annoyed, but she was annoyed about someone who complains about their man being at home playing video games. And she was like, well, if he go to work all day and he come home and that's what he want to do, basically be glad that he's at home. Some of us feel like, yeah, and then some of us probably not. But the thing about it is 2020 taught us to go inward. It taught us to like do the work. If you hadn't done the work, you need to be doing the work. If you did the work, but you was like slack with your shit, then that was going to show up as well. Now, as far as the coldness, aloofness, the inability to connect with people because we have been separated, for most of us. People that actually stayed inside and didn't come outside, like they got used to that, and it really did change people. Like, it feels like sometimes it's just hard to even say hello. So if you do get some conversation out of speaking to a person, it's like, that's big, because everybody utilized, internalized, transmuted the energy of COVID in a different way. Some people use it for the good. Some people use it for their greed. A lot of transactional relationships had been exposed, and people found themselves like at a crossroads, really not knowing what to do or how to handle it. Well, my love, if you would be so kind as to go inward, utilize your personal science, which is your natal chart, that will help profusely as well. And no, I'm not talking about looking up the other person's situation on their natal chart. I'm talking about tending to you, to yourself. Learning about where you got these aspects, places in your chart that make you sensitive, naive, I was going to say gullible, the type of person that just accepts anything. You can find out these things in your chart. And if you don't have time to do that, then invest in having somebody help you. Besides that, really the work that you do on yourself shows up on the outside, and it will reveal to you, what is it that you're tolerating? Are you someone that's hard to get along with because you scared to get along with people, or you just really don't want to be bothered with folks? These are things that came out during COVID, but it wasn't so simple. Some of it was very complex because the mental disorders of people was getting revealed on a reel. And we learned how the people who were in relationships just for the transactional activity of it, they earned a title of narcissism, but then that got blown out of proportion as well. And really, it just brings you or brought you back to square one, which is, who are you? What do you want? Do you have the patience to wait for it? Can you be celibate? Have you kept account of all of the work that you have done with and for yourself? Yes, it is, or it has been challenging to learn to connect with people. But with all of the people watching that people are doing on social media, seeing people together, it's like, how much more like encouragement do you need externally when you can pay attention to what's going on within and work your way out? Healing is the work that is always mentioned, spoken on, and everybody wants to do it until they have to be accountable for their healing. It does a lot of great things when you are doing your work. You create healthy boundaries, a more feasible mental checklist, and you give yourself time to feel whether or not something is good for you, or you just going to learn a lesson from it. Because you do know sometimes you just don't want to pay attention. You see the red flag and you're like, I'm going to wait till it turns into a circus, then I'm going to do something. All I want to say is, don't be afraid to do the work. Being by yourself is not so bad. And it doesn't mean you're going to be that way forever. However, until you actually know what it is that you want and you embody that, you may continue to go on entertaining transactional relationships because you're running from yourself, which is going to run you back into yourself. Let me say that one more time. When you evade doing your work on yourself and you feel like, you know what, I spent a month doing this, or I spent a couple of months, or I did a year, but for the past 10, 20, 30 years, you've been ruminating and living in this loop of unhealthiness, you're going to run back into yourself because you don't want to deal with self. You have no other choice but to be handed a mirror by the universe to say, okay, you had 2, 3 other tests and you failed them with flying colors. You must be happy with being retained. So here go your seat for class. And this lesson gonna hurt a little bit more. Now, instead of you really like getting the lesson and paying attention to it, now you want to be angry and dissatisfied and you want to give up. But the thing to not do is that. Don't give up. Give yourself some credit for trying. Then be accountable for how you abandoned yourself. And that's why you met up with that runner chaser energy, the breadcrumbing, the textual relationship, and the transactional hookups. Like, what you thought? Life Jennings said it. Don't be a nickel out here looking for a dime, because you don't believe you're a dime anyway. You believe that you deserve the 5 cent. So instead of getting the whole, you get bits and pieces. In the meantime, instead of dragging that out, be grateful for the lessons. Be grateful that you made it through for the final time. And now you can give yourself that love that you've been looking for. I know it sounds corny. You probably don't want to hear this shit. But, or however, if you keep running from you, you're only going to run into you. When you give yourself time to recalibrate, give yourself time to actually see what it is that you like, that you enjoy, that really makes you smile, allows you to have fun, and honors you, you are not going to be willing to hand that over to anybody. Now, in light of what Seven was saying about the relationship dynamic, us putting ourselves out there, you giving it a shot, you giving it a try, keep doing the work on yourself. Rejection is your protection. When you attract the energy that is in alignment and complements who you are, it will be totally different. And I am speaking this to myself first. That's how I'm able to sit here and share it with you. Because, yeah, I definitely would be, scary and about getting in relationships, and I haven't been in one, and I see all of the shit that's going on out here. I definitely would be skeptical too. However, applying what it is that I have learned about what I need, applying what I learned about myself, and that is to be more of a receiver instead of a doer and a giver. Allow things to balance out. I gotta test the water someday. I gotta allow a situation or a circumstance that is for my highest good to come into my life, to make sure that, all right, I got it. I haven't been on a bike for a long time, but I can still use 2 feet to pedal. And if I don't like that bike ride, guess what? I could get off of it and find me another bike and still be cool and still be all right with the person. Or maybe, depending on the situation, maybe not. But for the most part, we're looking at raising the vibration of how we deal with each other. So yeah, you could definitely have an amicable split without throwing people under the bus, tearing them down, speaking negatively on them. Why can't we just all be accountable for our shit and laugh about it a little, not take it so seriously? But you wouldn't know to do that unless you have actually done some work on you. So get about your work. Stop worrying about these transactional relationships, because that's not what you're about. Even if you decide you want to date more than one person, be straight up. What fall away, what rejects you, guess what? It's not for you. And the main relationship to make a priority is the one with yourself. That one is tantamount, supersedes every other relationship thereafter. And this way, while you're doing the work, maybe you could find more flavors in the ice cream store. And you might start having ice cream again. You gotta watch Steven's video, to get the gist of that little joke. But seriously speaking, get about your work. Get about loving yourself, taking care of yourself. And know that what you seek is seeking you. Peace.